Hey guys, before the video begins, I just wanted to point out that this is my new model for streaming on my SMP. I figured I would use it for this video because it would be cool, to have more than just talking and drawing. The model is made by Stardust Penguin on DeviantArt, and I think they did a really good job, so I just wanted to give them a quick shout out before the video started. Before the video starts, I also do want to say that this video may have not too bad of a scenario, but there's definitely some uncomfortable topics that are said between an adult and a minor. So, I mean, if that sort of thing makes you uncomfortable, please click off the video. It's not as serious, or it could be as serious, I'm not sure, but it's not as serious as I'm making it sound. But yeah. Alright, so this is a story that happened a while back. I might not be able to recall all of it exactly, since the servers and the DMs that they were on have since been deleted since it was so many years ago. But when I was still a minor, I want to say I was somewhere in the range of 14 to 16. I was brought on to a little video game company, like a group of friends trying to make a video game company. Like, they call themselves a video game company. It's really just a starter fun business thing. And my brother actually knew the head person, and my brother got involved, and he wanted to know if I at the time wanted to join as a concept artist. And I was like, oh yeah, I love doing commissions, I love doing art, why not? It'll help me in the future. And so I signed up to be a concept artist, and I thought it was great and everything. And after a while, I don't exactly remember the details, but my brother decided to leave. It was issues that were none of my own. It was just not agreeing with how business was being handled, and that was fine. So he decided to leave. I, however, stayed as an artist. And I actually got moved around to a few different jobs, but that's not important. Basically, after a while, I was put in charge of designing characters. And they already had a couple of character designs that weren't made by me. I think I had already designed one or two characters. And what it would be is most of the staff, if not all of the staff, were guys in their 20s. So 21, 23, 24, stuff like that. And I, at the time, was 14 to 16. And I had worked there for a while. I want to say almost a year, if not 2 years there. Because it was really casual. So it wasn't like clock in, clock out. It was like, hey, every month, check how we're doing kind of scenario. And after a while, I don't want to say we ran out of character ideas, but it was more like, hey, staff members, do you have any cool ideas for characters? So this wasn't the lead person that suggested this or was the one saying this. It was just like a side staff member. But I'm going to have to say things to speak in code, because I don't know how YouTube is gonna treat me if I say anything too sus. But he would always make jokes on our Discord calls, our voice calls, our little meetings we would have, and he would always joke we should have a 1,000-year-old vampire girl. If y'all know the generic anime design trope ideas, you kind of know exactly what he means. And I think, if I'm correct, I was the only concept artist at the time. And everyone there knew that I was also a minor. They knew my age. It wasn't an anonymous random scenario. And they always kind of push it to the side. They always kind of joked about it. Oh, haha. No, we aren't gonna be that kind of game or something. But after a while, they kind of were like, okay, we'll consider it. And with considering it comes having to see what they would look like, which means I had to draw them. And since this particular guy was really excited about this character, he was going to be telling me what to draw in terms of like the design aspects, like hair color, clothing, etc. And I thought like even though I was still a minor, I was still 14, 16, I knew the implications of what he was trying to get, and I was like, man, I'm already uncomfortable in this situation, but I'll roll with it. I don't want to be awkward, and make it a big deal if it isn't a big deal. And so I sketched up the design, and it was still in sketch. Like, I hadn't done line art, and I think I made the character look like a teenager, like a little older than you would expect from like the quote 1,000-year-old vampire girl anime thing. He repeatedly made me go back, and I quote, was literally going, make her look younger. Make her look younger, make her shorter, make her smaller, make her younger. And like multiple times, I would say 2 or 3 times, I was told to make her younger. Until she looked, if I'm correct, I still have the photo. This is what she looked like. And that was the drawing. That was the official drawing. And I was really uncomfortable. Of course, I didn't say anything. I didn't want to make it rude or awkward, considering I was in a DM with this person, and I knew they were much older than me. I was like, wow, maybe I'll talk to, like, staff members about it later or something, because I did feel uncomfortable. And I think after that, the character wasn't exactly like, oh yeah, let's do it. Let's put her in the game. It was just like, oh, okay, we'll keep it in mind. And I want to say within the next 1 or 2 voice call meetings, he out of nowhere decided to call me, once again, I don't want to say it, but I will put up a lovely graphic as to what he called me. He called me this lovely title. And I wish I was kidding, and I wish that I could say that the people in the chat were like, whoa, don't do that. But no, they thought it was funny and thought it was chill, and I was repeatedly called that a lot, considering that they knew I was a minor, and the implications of that title made me very uncomfortable. So yeah, I really just wanted to like talk about that experience, because I think like getting called that name was, I mean, like, I try to play it off as like funny, making fun of it, but now it's just like, that's not funny to me. I mean, it's funny in terms of like a yikes kind of funny, but not like, oh, haha, nice, like, haha, funny joke between friends, because this person didn't know me. All they knew is that I was a kid, and they got me to draw a quote immortal 1,000-year-old vampire girl, and now they're calling me that. So it was interesting. And as you can tell in this drawing, I don't really have a thing against like quote child coded isn't the right word. Child coded is the right word, but in a different sense, in terms of like, oh, 1,000 years old, but they look like a child, so they probably are meant to represent a child. I'm also mean, I don't have things against characters that are supposed to encapsulate childish traits. As you can see, my character here, I drew this character specifically for this. Azure, from my own like comic and stuff, she's like, if I can get the height chart, she's pretty short, I will admit, and she has a lot of aspects that people would be like, oh, well, you're hypocritical because you're drawing this design. It's like, no, there's a big difference, because this character, yes, they may look and act a little childish, but you can obviously tell they are not, like, they don't look like a child. So that was a big thing for me in terms of, like, I've already designed characters that have like a quote childish nature to them, but they aren't child coded in that sense. It's kind of like Pinkie Pie from My Little Pony, like that kind of like enthusiasm and like childish wonder. But you can tell Pinkie Pie's not a child. This specific design, I was like, that's a child. You're making me make a child. And I am also a child. And then you're calling me the thing that I'm not sure if I'm wording this correctly, but you're also naming me the thing that a lot of people say is the excuse for looking at people that way. And I'm like, hey, I'm an actual child. So yeah, if you couldn't tell, this was not scripted. This was completely off the top of my head. But yeah, it was, in all summary, just a really awkward experience, because having to deal with being a minor and having to draw that for a person that I knew was a lot older and then called me that, I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And also, don't worry, guys, the video game company, like, I don't know what happened, but they basically fell apart. The game was never made. Like, they all kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. But yeah, I just figured that I'd share that story. I feel like it's important, especially for people who are getting into the character design, like illustration, and you're working for like a smaller company or even a big company, and you have to do designs that are not like that don't make you feel comfortable, but also the fact that I was like all those things in a group, and I was like, please, somebody tell them it's not okay, and everybody's like, oh, haha, yeah, we agree. It's like, I gotta get out of here. So yeah, in the end, I did end up leaving, and everything ended up failing and everything, but I want to say that I never felt like, oh my god, like, he's gonna come for me or something. It was just like, hey, maybe don't talk to kids like that, or make a child draw things like that. So yeah, I know that this, like, topic is really weird, and, like, is a really, like, controversial, quote controversial, because it's like, oh, it's fiction, it's not real. It's like, yeah, but the fact that that happened followed by me getting called that as a minor, it was weird. So, end all be all, weird, but I'm doing all right. So yeah, I just figured that I'd share that story because I thought it was interesting. It was definitely a first. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and dealing with this little unscripted rambling story time. Maybe I'll do more of these. Maybe I won't. Depends on how crazy my life is. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoy the art that I'm doing up there. And yeah. Bye.